And we
Welcome,
live.
welcome.
Welcome.
How
East
y'all doing
Denver.
today?
Hello.
How y'all doing today, man?
Doing all right. We doing good.
It's a good day
Feeling
to be
good.
black.
Amen. Black activity at EthDenver is something amazing. Let's go around the horn. Everybody introduce yourselves, probably your social handle, and then we'll go from there.
Okay.
Oh, well, I'm Dominique Walker. I'm from Lexington, Kentucky, and I'm starting to learn how to do some coding.
Dope.
Where
I'm Q. Some people know me as Grand Woo. Social media is GRAND_WOO. I make music. I'm a musician with a first second technology. I'm from the Springs, but I'm up in Denver for EthDenver. Yeah, that's it.
I'm VO, CEO, PHFD 80207 is the handle on everything.
My name is Elijah Smith. I am the founder of Shift, and I'm really happy to be here at Denver. You can find me at Wise Guy Smith. Yeah. And I guess we could talk a little bit about what's going on at East Denver, what we're experiencing as Black folks, and what exactly what it entails.
So, Dom, how about you start us off? How's your experience been here at EthDenver?
Well, I'm actually a noob in all this crypto stuff. So what I'm gonna say is there was a lot of vanilla shakes out here, but not enough chocolate drops, if you get what I'm saying. Not too many of my people here. I still felt comfortable. I'm from Kentucky, so best of both worlds. But yeah, I learned a lot. I learned stuff that I didn't even know. So yeah, on to the next.
Go ahead, Q. Let them know what's your takeaway from EthDenver.
Yeah, just really wanted to be a little bit more intentional about connecting with us in the Web3 space. It's not a lot of us, so just kind of connecting with like-minded individuals. And I actually realized, like, unfortunately, all skin folk ain't kinfolk, but I still don't want to not meet people that's with us. But yeah, it's interesting.
For sure. I think my experience here at EthDenver, this is my third year coming, and to see how it's grown tremendously. Um, you learn about new Web3 projects that start off here. You meet some of the most innovative minds. But again, like all you guys been saying, I'm just going to echo it. It's not many of us here. Um, and there's a lot of people who don't even know that this is going on right in their backyard. Us being here in Denver, a lot of people don't know about it. So to be able to be one of the faces in the rooms and be able to take some of this information back to the community is, I think it's a major takeaway. But again, how we're in like the Telegram of Black Web3 Denver, just kind of telling which events to go to because there's so much to go to. But I think it's a great takeaway. Sorry, that was a little long winded.
No, you're good. I feel like that's perfect. One thing for me that I personally noticed is that I've been understanding the concept of blockchain since 2018. Just recently have I been really diving into trying to figure out how I can implement it into my business, into my systems, and how I connect with the people. With that being said, blockchain is the future. And so my question is, as I'm in this place where these are some of the most creative minds developing these projects that we're gonna be using for the future. Where the hell are we at? You know what I mean? At the end of the day, where are we at to represent us? Earlier, you were speaking about how at these booths they're not really worried about us at all. You know what I mean? They're not worried about connecting with us. But where are we with our booths to not care about the other people who don't look like us?
That's a good point.
That's one of my biggest concerns is that blockchain's the future, but where are we at to develop and create the things that are for our people in the future?
Yeah, no, I didn't think about that. I'm glad you mentioned that because we actually don't. I haven't seen us with a booth.
No,
I don't think so as of yet. Like,
yeah,
dang.
Well, again, like with anything, when there's not a space for us, that's an opportunity for us to create the space. Anywhere there's a problem, there's an opportunity for us to bring the solution. When we think about Black people in Web3, again, I think the foundation to anything we do is the educational piece. So us being able to educate our people on what's going on here at EthDenver and being able to create the platforms for them to tap into and learn about, I think that's kind of where we start.
Mm-hmm. Word.
So I got a question. So how do you guys envision the future for Black people in Web3?
I'll just put a little sidebar real quick. I think education is the major component because without
Exactly.
education, it's only so far we can go. And me personally, I think there's a learning curve when it even comes to Web3 because sometimes it gets frustrating just trying to like learn what it like the terminology or even how to swap everything or get in your wallets. So I think that's the biggest component, like the education part.
Uh, so I'll go ahead and knock it out. For me personally, I think what you said is true. Education. But one thing about the black culture is we like to put out a little spice on shit. So you feel me? We need a little bit of culture. We need humor. You know what I mean? We need different ways. We need music. We need different ways to transfer this language because I'm gonna tell you right now, 90% of us is not gonna hear this coding language that they talking. You know what I mean? That it's gonna fall on deaf ears. But if you put that shit in a rap, if you put that shit into, you feel me, something that's applicable, some humor, some type of way that people can understand and digest the information a little bit smoother, then you might reach the people. You know what I mean? You might reach us. You might see more of us showing up because we know we about to have fun at this motherfucker. You know what I mean? But as long as we continue to as long as it stays real, nice and white, and nerdy, it's gonna be hard for us to slip in these doors. It's gonna be hard for us to show up. We like culture.
Yeah, that's what they refer to as edutainment,
Edutainment.
education,
Yeah.
entertainment.
Yeah, most definitely.
For me, I think they need to kind of like for a rookie as myself. I think they should kind of maybe dumb it down a little bit
Yeah.
because half the things these people are talking about, I'm like, what the hell is that? I'm looking at Eli like, what is that? What does that word mean?
That's
But
true.
like for a regular brother like myself, they're going to have more black people in the blockchain community. They're going to have to, I feel like, kind of like simplify it down. You know what I mean? Because
Let me pose this question to you fellas. What would it benefit them to educate you in this space?
It wouldn't.
So do you guys really think they're going to be the ones to educate you in this space?
Nah.
So
no,
That's why we got to be the ones.
Yeah.
That, you know, and
And
that's
that's what I was getting to. Just to say, when we look at everything and we look at the social bias, I was just in one of the AI talks um, about crypto, and one of the panelists, he posed the question. He kind of made a joke about how Gemini, the AI from Google, how they programmed it to where they said they blackwash history. So when you would ask it to get a picture of George Washington, all the pictures of the historical figures was black. And he's like, we can't have this. It's like a bias and whatever he was saying. But I was like, well, if you think about how history has been whitewashed for years, and then go to the racial biases that have been in technology, there's a lot of facial recognition apps that don't recognize people of color. So when we talk about the social biases inside of technology, what do we do to affect the change as far as, if, brother said he's going to study to be a programmer or whatever it is, but what do we do to combat the racial biases or the injustices in technology in these spaces?
By doing exactly what we're doing right here, speaking on it. You know what I mean? Getting it out on the waves. Making sure somebody's gonna hear this and be like, okay, let me look into it. It might reach 100, 200, 300 people. It don't matter. But as long as one or two people come from this conversation, like, okay, let me look into this a little bit more. You know what I mean? That's a ripple effect.
yeah.
Yeah.
Even then, they're gonna see us, and just by like, let's just say if it's like a thumbnail, somebody's gonna click on that thumbnail because like, oh shoot, that's one of us. Like, let me just see what this is about. It may not even be their peak of interest, but it's like, let me just see what they're talking about.
Right.
For sure. And kind of just like we was talking about, I say even the racial biases in the Web3 space. I went to a guy's booth and I asked him what their project was about. He asked me what project mine was about. I was telling him, he's like, "Hey, yeah, you want a shirt?" I was like, "Sure." And then he turned around and just started talking to somebody else and just like, the fuck. I was at another booth and I was there by myself, and then this Caucasian lady walked up, and then the dude just went to her and like,
Yeah.
you don't see me,
Yeah.
and you don't want to be in these spaces thinking uh thinking that way, but it's like, what can you do when this shit is right in front of your face?
Right.
So it's like to understand that, in this space, we gotta set the tone or bring the information from these big events back to the communities that we're a part of, and have these conversations with our people. Why is important to get this information? So I just want everybody to kind of speak up on, why do you think this information here is important to our communities, and what you can do to bring the information to the communities.
Real quick, one thing I wanted to mention, us being in like even in different spaces. So like one of the things that I've been trying to do is connect with people in politics. That's not really like my forte. I don't really like politics, but just learning about finances, I learned how politics can kind of play a role in how you maneuver and navigate. So if I can build with allies in those spaces, that gets me equipped with other things. Say, hey, I may not be well versed in this, but like, hey, these are some of the things that you should look out for. And I think we should have that in different industries, from finance to tech to music to basically everything. But that's just what I wanted to kind of add on to that.
For sure.
Well, the question again, V.
So, what do you think you could do to take the information back to the communities? And what is your role in doing that?
I think that again it starts with you're asking basically how do you spread awareness in a way, and again I think it starts with the brother said, education, uh, and the easy way to implement that I think is to do something monthly where you have meetups, you know, blockchain meetups, black blockchain meetups once a month, second Friday, meet me at Green Spaces, 2 p.m.
So, again, I kind of slipped on the question. It says, why is this information here important?
Oh, why is it?
And what could you do to bring it to the people to show them that it's important?
It's important because it's the future. And again, meetups,
So,
promotion,
Shout out to the product placement.
PHFE.
yeah, man. I mean, even how I feel about this liquid death. It's like, power in words. Uh, I don't know why would you want to drink something called liquid death? Shout out to the sponsors, but I'm just kind of curious.
That's a fact. No, what's your take? Like, why do you think it's important, and like, what is your role within this?
Well, I think this information is important because this is where the future is going. Just like with any other technology, we're always the last ones to get the information. So I think it's important that we bring this information to our people, to where we're not left behind. And uh, I think like how my boy Chicago Block Bully would say is, this is how we could get our reparations, because it's a new money matrix, and we have the ability with DeFi, decentral finance, to be able to control our financial futures with this technology.
Thanks.
We're taking the power in our hands away from the banks, to where we can control how we do business, commerce to commerce, peer to peer, and it's something that we could build off of and leave our legacies.
Right. And to piggyback off what V said, I would like quote Nipsey Hussle when he said, this is the equivalent to the California gold rush. When everybody was shooting out to California and going out there to the new land for the gold. You know what I mean?
Right.
It's the same thing. It's a internet gold rush. This is a whole new currency. And so the quicker we get in here and we start to understand and educate ourselves and then pass it on to the next and create ways for people to get into this gold rush, we got reparations. You know what I mean? We got a new avenue that we can explore. But if we continue to just think that these people are going to create the platforms for us, we might as well keep dreaming. You know what I mean? And look for the next gold rush in the next 100 years.
Because they're not gonna let us in. They like, we see y'all, but
Yeah. And that's the biggest thing is that it's not a let us in. We have the opportunity. We got to wake up. We got to have the willpower. It's right there. Ain't no door. There's no
Right.
door.
we basically got to create our own and do that. Like
Yeah.
that's kind of how it's always been.
Yeah.
It's just interesting how they'll always kind of have certain barriers of entry in a sense.
Yeah.
And sometimes we don't want to try to hop over that fence or like build something else. We like, nah, I guess we'll be okay here.
Yeah,
No, like
yeah.
we can't always be doing that.
The honestly, I think the liberation starts with a book. It starts with education. It starts, you know what I mean?
What's the quote that they got for a book? Like put something in a book. Like
You want to hide something from a nigga, keep it in the book.
yeah,
Yeah, put
yeah,
it in the
yeah.
book.
And it's sad but true.
Yeah,
You know what I'm saying?
yeah.
Uh,
Um,
well, question to you guys: what is one project or company you guys learned about this weekend that you didn't know about, or something that you want to tell the people that should look into?
Um, Not necessarily that I not know about it, but I think that this is something people might want to know is proof of staking. The ability that you could put your stuff, you could put your money on the network, uh, and continue to make money on it the same way you would as if it was a savings account. That I feel like that's huge because at the end of the day, you're only getting like 0.001% in a savings account. You know what I mean? You're not collecting nothing but dust. So and so if you think about it, collecting your money on the blockchain, you getting way more of a percentage than you would if you was to do it traditionally.
Again, this is not financial advice.
Disclaimer.
right.
What about you, Dom?
I'm gonna have to agree with Elijah because normal people would just put their money in the bank and just let it sit, the 0.1%. But why not take the risk and try to invest into like Bitcoin or Cardano or whatnot? Might as well put your money to use. Like you said, it's gonna be collecting dust in the
Yeah,
bank.
thanks.
And it's beating inflation. Like bank accounts are not even beating inflation. So
They
like
taking the dust.
exactly. So you essentially, if you either holding money or you put it in the bank, you're essentially losing money in a sense.
Right.
Once I kind of understood that, I'm like, dang, like how can I make the money work for me while I continue to work for the money? What avenues can I see myself put the money in?
Yeah.
The question that you had mentioned earlier though was uh, what was the question before that?
Education and awareness. How would you implement?
Or
Yeah.
about what project you
Oh,
learned about,
project. Yeah.
or
So I
company
haven't.
that you?
Now it's a lot of companies here. A lot of them happen to be, to my surprise, were like payment swaps. Like, how can you convert your cryptocurrency? Which isn't a big thing, but I just didn't expect to see that many of those platforms. Like, they all kind of relatively do the same thing, but I guess
Exchanges.
yeah, basically. Um, the most common one, obviously, is like to me is like Uniswap, but I seen like a whole bunch of replicas of that. But one of the companies I did want to shout out is Formless. Shout out to the team. I like them because they actually give creators their own leeway of how they want to price their work. They have this thing called a PFA, which is a pay for access, and you basically get to price your own content. So if I wanted to put out a song for like $10, I can make it available for $10 for a whole week. After that week is up, you got to pay $10 in order to get access to it. So you can actually get more control. If you were like a podcast, you could do anything like that. I could have made it $100, but I rock with them just because they're part of the wave of the Web3, and it brings ownership back to the creator versus kind of being reliant on the actual system or
Oh,
whatnot. So yeah,
they're here.
not well. One of the owners, he said he was gonna be here for the weekend. So
Okay,
yeah, like I love to introduce you if he was here. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to Brandon and Formless and all that.
most definitely, most definitely. How about you? Did you see a company or any particular protocol or project that caught your eye?
Uh, it would probably be Hedera. Uh, I feel like that, or honestly, Metis. Those two are two nice ones that I felt like we're making good contributions and creating a good platform for people to be able to utilize. Um, Currently, for me, I would like to find a crossroad between AI and uh, VR and therapy. Um,
Elaborate. I like that. I like that. I like the way that sounds.
So AR, augmented reality, or VR, virtual reality, crossing it with artificial intelligence for machine learning, and then therapy, finding a way to increase people's well-being.
Right.
I feel like that's if we can find those crosses, we've got a way that we can reach everybody from their own home. And so yeah, I feel like that's a key question for me.
Okay. Yeah, there was a project called Zulu. It's a layer two blockchain project that I thought was pretty dope. Just how they're integrating the work, how you could build on Bitcoin. A lot of the stuff we see, a lot of these companies. I mean, this is EthDenver, so a lot of them are Ethereum based. But to see the work that's coming along with Bitcoin, to where you could build on layer twos on that blockchain is becoming amazing. And then, I'm looking to build that play to earn game. So when I was talking to the people from Polkadot about the Cosmos network and the interoperability of some of those blockchains there, I think those is a good projects to look into. Um, so
I wanted to pose a question as well. Like, what actually got y'all into Web3 blockchain technology?
what got me into Web3 was I was a part of the Cyber Panther Party. One of my guys reached out to me. I initially had a Bitcoin in 2015 on a laptop, and I just thought it was the future. And I still got that laptop, but I don't got the keys to it.
Mm,
And so it's like I'm just always been into technology from that space. But then I got spoken to be about a founder of the Cyber Panther Party, which is a social justice NFT. And then from there, we just was a part of a network marketing company that was into crypto and just kind of grew from there. But I knew that this information, being in financial literacy, this is the new financial literacy. Like this is what we got to learn about. So being able to keep up with the times, it's like I had to dive in deeper to be able to get the information and translate it back to our people.
Yeah. I like the financial literacy part. I like to say it's financial sovereignty. You know what I mean? This is a place where you can be, you can have your own independence. Uh, and yeah, and to answer the question, what got me into blockchain would be two big influences in my life: my father and then my cousin. My father used to build uh, mining machines for Bitcoin back in 2011.
wow.
Yeah, and he was he didn't really think anything of it. He was just doing what he liked doing, which was building computers.
Right.
And he ended up selling it and not really messing with it after like 2013. And so he missed out, But then I ran into my cousin who put me on game onto blockchain, put me on the Bitcoin, put me on the Cardano, and really was like, if you want to change your future, this is where it starts right here. So I
Mm,
started collecting. It took me 2 years for the information to digest. You know what I
right.
mean? Because I was a kid. You know what I mean? I was like 18, 19. I was worried about the next party I was about to go to. But the seeds sunk in. You know what I mean? It took a little while, but I started collecting Bitcoin back in 2017, to December 2017, and then, like I said, started just really investing a little bit, using it as a savings account. I started seeing it go up, starting to shoot up, and I continue to use it as a savings account. And then 2000, and then just now, recently, I've just realized how big blockchain really is. That was just DeFi. You know what I mean? That
Right.
was just decentralized finance. That wasn't the entire scope of what we've got, the technology wise. So, yeah, it all started back in about 10 years ago.
Yo, shout out to your fam, man. That's
You feel
dope.
me?
Yeah,
Yeah. Thank you,
that's
bro.
dope.
For me, it was just word of mouth. Honestly, I didn't know too much about the blockchain. My brother Eli, he told me about this event, and I was like, okay, yeah, I'm definitely trying to learn because I feel like this is the future for finances. Period. So I really want the USD to go away. You know what I mean? Everybody go into crypto. You know.
That's why bricks is coming. I
Yeah,
digress.
facts,
Yeah.
facts, facts,
Fact.
But
facts.
no, shout out to you though for like even being like a early person into it, because like it is a learning curve. But you was like, yo, I want to go in. Let me see what this is about. So people from all ages, from experts, the experts and stuff out there to the newbies, yo, all of us need to kind of be in, because you never know what somebody else knows, and you
Right,
can always add more tools to your toolkit. So
right.
yeah, big
Facts.
ups to you,
Facts.
man,
So
for
how
sure.
did you get involved or learn about
Uh,
blockchain and Web3 space?
It was because of the pandemic, actually. Like well, actually, no, I take that back. It was actually Nip. Nip, he did like Follow Coin back like in 2017 or 2018. So when he said that, he had partnered with like a former basketball player or something like that. So that's when it cryptocurrency actually got on my radar, I'm like, all right, cool. I kind of like let it go because I ain't really had no money. I was in college and I was trying to figure that out. Um, no, that was out of college. Anyway, and then when the pandemic happened, the NFTs and stuff started coming around, and I was like, well, what is this? I need to get familiar with it. And most people kept talking about the digital pictures, but I was like, well, how can I make this work for me? Because I do music, and I ended up going to Clubhouse, and I was in one of the MC Hammer's room, and when he broke down samples, like sample packs and stuff,
Shout out to MC Hammer.
word, right? When I was there, I'm like, oh, a light bulb went on my head. I'm like, oh, okay, I can make this work for me. Now, how can I actually get the funds to actually build what I want to build? And it just kind of led from there. And then just meeting people on different spaces, it just kind of grew my knowledge. I'm like, yo, I like what this is doing. I always consider myself a musician with a foot in technology, and I felt like this is a new wave of technology. Let me get immersed into it and figure out what's going on,
Yeah,
and then bring it back to our people because
yeah,
our people need it.
yeah.
For sure.
I want to add just this is a little bit different from the topic, but at least it's still on the whole concept of bringing us here. And to any people of color that's listening to this, at the end of the day, know that I heard on stage the other day a person say that I'm an OG. I've been in it since 2015, and that was 9 years ago.
Yeah,
Right.
You know what I
still
mean?
early.
Yeah, OG. But granted, he's on stage. He's doing something that is influential. You know what I mean in this game. But 9 years ain't nothing. That shit flies by. So if you hop in it now, you halfway to an OG in 5 years. You know what I mean? In 4 years, you halfway there to being an OG already. You know, so don't be discouraged because you don't know nothing yet. This is brand new.
Yeah, it's brand new and it's forever growing. So
Yeah,
Yeah, and
there's
that's
there's there's room for us here.
yeah, and
yeah.
that's why I even
There's
like
room.
you mentioned the whole learning curve. So like it gets tedious, but like don't stray away from it because some of the stuff that is difficult for a reason, but once you actually learn it, it's like okay, cool, and then you
Anything
can.
worth it is difficult. Anything worth it is gonna be
So
difficult.
That's
let
a
me
fact.
let me ask you guys, and we could give this to the people. What are some places, or where do you guys get your information from, or where do you study from, to that may be beneficial for you that you can help somebody else to learn more?
Um, Udemy was one place I felt like for courses, just to develop a simple understanding of what programming is. It kind of just depends on where your niche is at. If you like games, if you like art, if you like different things in that realm, you might be in the NFT realm. But if you like finance and you're looking to get around some money, or you're trying to get some stuff around that done, you might be around in the DeFi game. If you're looking for some type of business. You might be in infrastructure and scaling. It just kind of depends on where you're at in terms of your niche and where your vision is for where you want to be at. But yeah,
About you?
Dang, what was the question again? Oh, my bad. No,
I
um,
said, where do you learn about blockchain or
where?
Web3 information
bro, look at
that you can
ass.
recommend to the people?
Yeah, honestly, it like a lot of it just kind of came from Twitter. Like, and I won't I said that like lightly only because like I met a lot of connections just being in spaces and meeting a lot of people, just being in the room, just ear hustling, like listening, or just going on stage and just asking questions like, "Yo, what do y'all know about this?" I learned a lot from Clubhouse. Now, as far as sites now
Mhm.
they actually have certain platforms. I don't know any off the top of my head, but if you just want to start somewhere in Google and say, "Hey, how do I get into the blockchain?" or like, "How do I get into Web3?" Like, what is Web3? Sometimes they'll actually have courses on there in reference to it. So Udemy is a good one. Coursera is a pretty good one. What about yeah, it's a couple of them though. So yeah, yeah. Or just ask to see who may know it. You never know.
How about you, Dom? Where do you learn about blockchain and Web3?
So definitely, I gotta shout out my boy Chicago Crypto Block Bully. He lays it down for all the good black people out there that's trying to learn about Bitcoin or crypto in general. That's the man to go to. He is a king, and he really simplifies the game. Definitely for me.
Oh, word! Shout out to Keys too, like 19 Keys, because he was real big on the blockchain and stuff like that. So I did get some information from him too. So yeah, for sure.
For sure. So I think that's important to always keep learning, man. And shout out to Chicago Bitcoin Block Bully, man. I got a lot of game from him, for sure, for sure.
Most definitely.
Um,
Facts.
there's a lot of people in these spaces that you can learn from. And shameless plug. Go to phfd80207.com. We got a course for you to come learn about blockchain 101. You
Yes,
know,
sir.
we want to be able to simplify the information
That's
for the
exactly.
people. Like you said, we want to reach the people where they at. I think that's important that we able to do that. But again, we got to make sure that the people learn the language to speak the language of Web3 and blockchain. I think it's important.
So two things I want to mention on there as well. The finance, um, even though I mentioned the education, like you actually kind of have to know more of yourself as well. Because I realize like us, we have a lot of money trauma. Like we got trauma in a lot of stuff, but like money trauma,
Glad you
um,
said that. We got a course called The Trauma of Being Poor at
yeah. And it's
phfd80207.com.
but it's crazy because like I even try to get like I know we're talking about crypto and stuff, but I just got familiar with like regular finances and stuff like that, and I'm trying to get my family onto it, and it's like it's a give and take, and I'm like, yo, like why are you not receptive to the information? But everyone's journey is different, everyone learns different, but it's like it's a learning curve, and some people don't see the value into it until it's too late. Um,
Financial literacy, man. That's got to be a key because that's I can't tell you how many people over the course of time have been like, I put money in, I put $100 in, but it went down to 80s. So I
Mhm.
can't. I don't really like this. You feel me? I don't like this. I'm out. You know
and
what
they
I mean?
already give
I,
up. They already
That-
I ain't
giving
making
up,
no money.
So financial literacy
and they want
is
the quick money
it's
too.
a
Yeah, they
it's a
want the
hot
quick
topic.
money.
It's a hot topic. It's like a hot keyword. So I want to get everybody's definition of what financial literacy means to you.
Understanding how it works. Understanding it's there's financial literacy, but there's literacy in reading. Yeah, you know what I mean? There's an ability to understand what you are seeing and what you're utilizing. What is this tool? How do I use it? You know what I mean? So that's my idea of financial literacy. How do you govern finance? What is it? What does finance mean? You know what I mean? How do you speak the language of finance?
How about you, Dom?
Can I get a skip? Nah, just messing. For me, it's like your needs and wants. For me, it's like financial literacy is like, damn, I'm out. Next,
We'll circle back to you.
yeah,
Uh, for me, it's more so like understanding the foundation of finance in a sense. So understanding like the basics. Then once you understand that, how can you cater it to what you actually want in life? Because everyone has different financial goals. Everyone has different goals. Then once you realize that, you have different financial goals. And once you kind of realize what may be like the most suitable for you, I feel like you can kind of grow and expand on that education because there's so many different fields within finance. You can kind of double down because you can't know everything. I mean, you can, but you can't really know everything and then put everything into everything. Like
Yeah.
something's gonna suffer. But I feel like if you educate it and kind of figure out what you want to do, it just adds on to the knowledge because you'll be more apt to learn. And then just kind of figure out what your purpose is. Like, what are you gaining money for? Like, what do you want to use
Right.
it for? Do you want to build it for your family? Do you want to build it for yourself? Do you want to take vacations?
What's your why?
Exactly. So
For me, we're well versed is the way I would say financial literacy. I don't know everything about financial literacy, but I'm well versed in it. And with being well versed, it's understanding what is the savings. How do you save? How do
right,
you invest? How does your money make money? What is
exactly.
passive income?
And you even mentioned financial sovereign.
Financial sovereign. How are you financially free? You know what I
Right,
mean? If you was to go down for an injury for 6 months, are you good? You know what I
right.
mean? Like
How long can you withstand to
how,
that?
you know what I mean? What is wealth? What's the difference between rich and wealth? You know what I mean? These questions is key. You know,
Right.
so that's my take on it.
For sure,
What
for
about
sure.
yours?
Um, I think just financial literacy is an understanding of how money works, like my man said, of how money works and how you can generate it. Um, really, it's really just your understanding of how you can utilize it to benefit you. When you understand anything, or if you're literate about anything, you can comprehend how to communicate that language. Um, just like with any other language. You know, you're able to speak those terms, you're able to utilize and put those terms to use. So I think financial literacy, it has a broad meaning to, like you said, to who you're talking to. Everybody doesn't have the same definition of it, but I think it's important that you create your own definition wherever you at.
Yeah, and having like enough information to even pass it on to somebody who may have questions about it. Like, hey, I don't know about this. Oh yeah, just do this, and then
Mhm.
each one teach one. So
Your network,
Most
it's your
most
net worth.
most again,
it's a
most
fact.
importantly, we got 5 more minutes, fellas. And
Yeah.
since y'all here at EthDenver, man, tell the people again where to reach y'all and what parties y'all going to tonight.
Oh wait, before we do that, were there any events or parties that y'all attended already that y'all liked?
It was cool. I like the Pizza Castle. That was
Oh yeah,
tight.
that was
They
fire.
had some pretty dope merch. The putt putt shit last night was amazing networking.
Same.
Thanks. That was a good one.
What
Yeah, that
about
was
you?
all. No, I like the pizza. I like the Pizza Castle joint. And then I went to the Buffett Corn. It was all right. Wasn't a lot of us in there, but the experience for
There's
me
not
was
a
cool.
lot of us in here
Uh,
In
period.
general, yeah.
So
I
this,
say
I digress. I digress.
I say out of what would y'all say? Is this right? About out of every 100 people, we got about
half a black person.
He didn't even say a whole. He said a half.
about yeah, it's about right. Yeah, I say there's about 10,000 people here, and probably about 100.
Yeah, I was gonna say not even 1,000.
Yeah,
I'm
that-
talking.
Maybe
50
maybe
niggas.
maybe yeah.
Yeah, probably
So-
about 50 black people.
Well,
know.
this is our call to action to all you melanated people out there.
Yes.
We need to see you guys at the next event of
Yes.
EthDenver. They're
Show
going to do
up.
offshoots
Yeah,
and or be looking to us for the next melanated event in this Web3 space. So
Yeah.
You can
Or-
literally
or-
show up and be like, hey, you can walk up to another black person and be like, hey, I see another black person here. I just want to say what's up. And y'all can be friends off that. Because it's
Hey.
really like that.
It
It's
be
I
like
met a
that,
lot
too.
of good people, man. I got a
Yeah.
phone full of friends that I met here.
Yeah, that's a fact.
I
And
met
then
you
also
here.
word and also NFT NYC, like the art Miami Art Basel, like all those. You know, we're in different spaces as well, but like, you know, so just bring awareness of like there's
Show up.
Yeah.
Show up so you can show out. Again,
Bring a blazer.
my man is casket sharp.
Hey.
Mosquito. He's sharper than a mosquito's Peter.
Hey, y'all make
Alright.
sure y'all check out them. What is that called? The little taco shop. Boy, we was bashing that. Boy, what the-
Tacos was fire.
Yeah, it was fire. Oh my goodness. Gained about 5 pounds. in there.
Man, this
Just
has
got the
been a
5
great
minute-
Eve Denver.
Yeah.
We at the 5 minute mark. Again, man, shout out y'all social media, what y'all got going, where we could find y'all at, and you know how they could tap in with you. What you got for the people here at Eve Denver?
I mean, so I'll go first. So, you know, it's Wise Guy Smith is the tag. I'm on Instagram. I'm on LinkedIn, Snapchat. Shift is the organization. We're looking to transition people from a Western healthcare to more of a holistic approach, mind, body, and spirit, using increasing people's well-being. And also we got Empowered, the Wealth and Wellness Expo. We had our last event over at January 15th, me and V. We've got a few different things coming up soon, but just stay tuned and we'll be able to keep you plugged in.
Dom?
Oh yeah. So y'all can reach me at Redo James, man, on Instagram. Feel me? Hit me up. Feel me? I'm not a teacher, but I can point you into the right directions on what type of brother knows what. You know what I mean?
For sure.
For sure. And you know, keeping it real. That's it.
Q.
Yeah, my name is Q. Musically, I go by Grand Woo, GRANDWOO, all caps if you didn't know. Stay hydrated, player is the campaign. Yeah, and that's where you can find me. Appreciate y'all.
Say, man, I like that campaign. Stay hydrated, man.
Yeah,
Hey, man.
You can't forget the player. You can't forget
Player.
the player.
Oh, stay hydrated. Player.
Yeah, you can't forget the
You
feel-
Pop
you
your
feel-
collar.
you feel me?
Kala.
Popping it, you know.
Appreciate that.
And last but not least, Park Hill Financial District. You can find us at phfd80207.com, on Twitter, on Instagram, phfd80207.com. And we're here to empower your wealth through education and financial literacy. Let's get it. Hey, man,
Nah,
I
this
think
was
we did
dope.
good for our first podcast
Yeah.
off the cuff.
Yeah,
like
right,
that.
right.
Like,
Literally,
Right, freestyling.
literally. Shout out to Eve
shout out
Denver,
to Eve Denver, man. The
podcast
podcast
studio.
studio, the technician back there engineering the thing, man. It's do your goddamn thing, man. We out here.
I didn't even think I was gonna be here just cause
Hey,
we
man,
here.
we out
You
here.
gotta put
Right.
yourself in the room sometimes.
Divine timing.
We out here. We out
Appreciate
here.
it.
If If you see me, holla at me in the streets.
Y'all be
Peace.
easy. I'll see y'all at the next event.
Peace.
Yeah.
Peace.
Peace.